After months of lies, my wife finally admitted she was moving in with her ex and demanded I sell our house. "You're a pathetic failure," she spat, tearing up our photos. "He's the love of my life." Her sister laughed. "She's way too good for you." I signed the papers, and then my inbox blew up with 19 emails begging for help as their plans started to unravel. I never thought I'd share this story here, but I need to get it off my chest, using a throwaway for obvious reasons. I'm Warren, 33, and my wife Kira, 31, just destroyed our 7-year marriage in the cruelest way possible. Looking back, the signs were there for months, but I was so caught up in our routine I missed them. It began with little things. Kira started working late, normal for her sales job, but then she changed all her phone passwords, which she'd never done before. We had an open phone policy. When I brought it up casually at dinner, she snapped at me for being controlling. That should have been my first warning. Then came the spending. Our joint account showed strange charges, expensive restaurants I'd never heard of, boutique shopping sprees, salon visits during work hours. When I questioned her, she gave vague excuses about client meetings or treating herself because she deserved it. The real red flag was when she started going to the gym at weird hours, not our usual place, but some fancy new gym across town. She'd come home showered, hair done, wearing outfits I'd never seen before. Something felt off. But every time I tried to talk about it, she flipped it on me. "You're paranoid. You're suffocating me. I can't believe you don't trust me." Last week, everything exploded. I was fixing our kitchen sink when her phone buzzed on the counter. A message preview from Grant popped up. "Can't wait for tonight, baby." My hands shook as I read it. Grant, her ex before we met, the one she always called just a good friend when he commented on her Instagram posts. I waited for her to come home. She walked in around 9 p.m., looking like she'd just stepped out of a photo shoot. When I showed her the message, she didn't deny it. No tears, just a cold, cruel laugh. "Well, I guess you're not as stupid as you look," she said, tossing her bag on the couch. Grant is successful now, a partner at his firm. "What are you still doing? Fixing things and dreaming about your little business ideas?" I stood there, watching a stranger wearing my wife's face. She pulled out a folder from her bag. "I want you to sell the house. Grant and I are moving in together next month. His place is too small for us." The house was in both our names. I said calmly, "I'm not selling." She rolled her eyes. "You can't afford the mortgage alone, Warren. Don't be pathetic. Sign the papers, take your half, and go rent somewhere cheap. That's what you're good at, settling for less." Then she stormed into our bedroom, ripping down our wedding photos. "You were always temporary," she hissed, tearing them up. "Grant's the love of my life, always has been." The next day, her sister Winnie showed up unannounced. I used to think of her as family. Kira had told her everything, said with a smug smile, "She's too good for you, always was. Grant can give her the life she deserves. Just sign the papers and disappear." I stayed silent, letting them think they'd broken me. I signed the initial paperwork for the house sale and watched Kira's triumphant smile. But they don't really know me. What they don't realize is I've been watching, documenting, preparing, every suspicious charge, every cruel message, every manipulative move. While they congratulated themselves, I was making my own plans. They think I'm a pathetic pushover who'll just roll over and accept this. They're about to find out how wrong they are. I'll post updates as things unfold. Right now, I need to make some calls and set things in motion. Kira and Grant think they've won, but they have no idea what's coming. Edit. Thanks for all the support. To answer some questions, yes. I've already talked to a lawyer. No, we don't have kids, and yes, I'm doing okay. Not great, but focused. I'll update when I can. Things are about to get interesting. Edit 2. Since people are asking, this happened in a medium-sized Midwestern city. Update 1. First, thanks again for all the support on my last post. A lot has happened, and Kira has no clue what's coming. Remember how I said I'd been preparing? Here's what I've been up to. While Kira thought I was moping around the house these past months, I was actually documenting everything. Every late-night work meeting, every suspicious purchase, every nasty text from her and Winnie. I let them think I was clueless while I moved my pieces into position. Last week, I had coffee with Kira's parents. They've always treated me like a son, and I felt they deserved to hear the truth directly from me. I showed them screenshots of Kira and Grant's conversations, joint account statements with thousands spent at hotels, and photos from my neighbor's doorbell camera catching their afternoon meetups at our house. Her mom broke down crying. Her dad just sat there staring at his coffee. "We raised her better than this," he kept saying. Then he dropped a bomb. Kira had borrowed $20,000 from them last month, claiming it was for home renovations. They now know that money went as a deposit on a new place with Grant. Here's where it gets interesting. Remember how Kira kept pushing me to sign those house sale papers? Turns out, Grant's partner position isn't as solid as they made it look. His company's been losing clients, and he needed the money from our house sale to cover his debts. I found this out through an old college buddy in the same industry. I let Kira think I was desperate to keep the house, playing right into her arrogance. Meanwhile, I've been talking to a competing firm, the one poaching Grant's clients. They offered me a position directly competing with Grant's department. I start next week. But the real chess move? I've been recording all my conversations. With Kira and Winnie, single-party consent state. Last night, they came over to discuss the house sale. Their polite mask slipped when I asked for a fair split of assets. "You're lucky we're letting you walk away with anything," Winnie sneered. "My sister wasted 7 years on your pathetic ass." Kira jumped in. "Just sign the papers, Warren. Grant's friends are already laughing at how easy it was to push you out. Got it all on tape, including their detailed plan from months ago. To wait until I signed loan papers that dumped more of our shared debt on me. They have no idea I've already moved most of our joint savings into a separate account, all documented and legal through my lawyer. Or that I'm compiling evidence of how Kira used company resources to help Grant poach clients. Best part? Grant doesn't know his secretary Carmen, the one he's secretly seeing, just found out about Kira. Turns out, he promised Carmen the same future he dangled in front of my wife. That revelation is going to hit at the perfect moment. This morning, Kira was still strutting around like she'd won. She left a post-it on the fridge. "Pack your stuff by Friday." I smiled, took a photo, and added it to my file. I'm not playing. The devastated husband they expect. No scenes, no threats. Just quietly moving my pieces. Tonight, Kira's going to a work dinner with Grant. When she comes home, the house will be empty. Not because I've moved out, but because I've stored everything valuable, including all evidence of her affairs, financial manipulation, and recordings that could destroy their careers. The real game starts tomorrow. I have 19 emails ready to send to her boss, Grant's partners, mutual friends, everyone who needs to know the truth. But I'm not sending them yet. I want to watch them scramble as their perfect plan unravels. For those asking, yes, I'm done being the nice guy. They wanted to play games? Let's play. Edit. Several people asked about the loan papers I mentioned. Don't worry, I've got that covered. The last 24 hours were pure chaos, enough to fill a whole reality TV season. So, Reddit, grab your popcorn because things escalated fast. Remember those 19 emails I sent out yesterday morning? By noon, Kira's perfect little world was burning down. It started with a frantic call at 8 a.m. Her boss had opened the email, packed with proof that she'd been leaking confidential client info to Grant. Her voicemail was hysterical. "What the hell did you do? They're calling a meeting about my ethical violations. Fix this now." I stayed silent, just watching as everything fell apart. At 10 a.m., Grant's office received their email, complete with screenshots of him promising Carmen the same future he'd promised Kira. His response? Blocked Kira's number. Real classy. Then at 11, Winnie called, screaming that I'd ruined her work reputation. Apparently, her bosses weren't thrilled to find out she'd been using company time to help plan her sister's affair. She called me a pathetic, vengeful little man and said they should have destroyed me months ago. Lunch was even crazier. Kira stormed into our house, mascara running, face flushed, throwing her purse at me. "You absolute psycho! I'm suspended pending investigation. Grant won't answer my calls. What did you send Carmen?" I calmly sipped my coffee, saying, "Just the truth. Isn't that what you wanted? No more lies." She panicked, hyperventilating, over possible legal action for client info leaks. Grant claimed he never promised anything and said she misunderstood. Karma's funny, huh? I started recording her meltdown. She threw things, screamed, called me every name, and even tried to slap me, all caught on video. Perfect evidence for the restraining order I filed this morning. The real drama hit when Carmen showed up, confronting Kira in our driveway with a screaming match that had neighbors peeking out. Carmen yelled, "He told me you were the desperate ex who wouldn't let go," showing texts of Kira begging for attention. Kira went pale. Carmen waved her phone, saying she had a year's worth of messages about their future and photos of Grant ring shopping last week. That's when Winnie arrived, trying and failing to control damage. She walked right into Carmen, exposing Grant trash-talking both sisters, calling them useful idiots for helping him climb the corporate ladder. Kira collapsed, sobbing about true love and betrayal. Winnie tried to comfort her, but Kira shoved her away. "You encouraged this. He was my soulmate." By evening, their parents arrived, demanding immediate repayment of that $20,000 loan. Kira's dad looked at her like she was a stranger. "We didn't raise you to be this person," he said quietly. That hit harder than all the yelling. Then came the final blow. Grant sent Kira a lawyer's letter ordering her to cease all contact and warning that any shared property claims would be contested. Real romantic. Now Kira's blowing up my phone, texts swinging wildly between threats, and begging, "We can fix this. Then I'll make you pay for humiliating me." But here's the thing. I'm not done. Remember that house they wanted me to sell? It just got an offer way above asking price. Guess who's about to accept it and pocket their share before they can stop me? Winnie's scrambling on social media, but the screenshots are out. Their friends are choosing sides, and most aren't choosing theirs. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with a real estate agent. After that, my lawyer has some interesting ideas about dividing our assets. They wanted to play games. Game over. Thanks for the awards, and yes, I kept receipts for everything. Every single thing. Final update. Remember me? The guy whose wife tried to force him to sell their house to move in with her soulmate Grant? Karma hit them like a freight train. Today started with Kira showing up at my new apartment at 7 a.m., mascara running, pounding on my door. "Warren, please. We need to talk. Grant's engaged to Carmen after everything." He proposed. I watched on security camera as she had a meltdown in the hallway. My neighbor poked his head out while she screamed about how I ruined her life. Real classy. But let's back up. The last 3 months have been wild. Remember the house? Sold. It for $40K over asking. Kira tried contesting, but with proof of her affair and financial misconduct, her lawyer told her to take the split and shut up. She needed the money badly. Turns out Grant had her footing most of their romantic dinners and hotel bills. Speaking of Grant, his perfect life imploded spectacularly. Carmen didn't just leave him, she took half his clients. She'd been documenting his shady business deals. Now he's working at a smaller firm, trying to rebuild his reputation. And here's the kicker. Remember Valeria? Grant's ex-business partner he screwed over years ago? We met at a networking event last month. She's brilliant, successful, and has some interesting stories about Grant's schemes. We're having dinner again tomorrow. Winnie's karma caught up too. She'd been bad-mouthing me to anyone who'd listen until someone leaked recordings of her plotting with Kira to drain our accounts. Now she's persona non grata in our social circle. Last week, she tried adding me on LinkedIn, denied with a screenshot of her calling me pathetic. Kira's living with her parents now. The look on her face when she saw me and Valeria at her favorite coffee shop? Priceless. She tried to make a scene, but Valeria just smiled and said, "Oh, is this your ex? The one Grant used to laugh about?" Kira's morning meltdown wasn't her first try at reconciliation. 2 weeks ago, she sent a long email about how she made a mistake and wanted to start fresh. I replied with a screenshot of her message to Grant, calling me a stepping stone. Her parents still check in sometimes. Her dad called last week, asked if I'd take her back. "She's learned her lesson," he said. I played him a recording of Kira bragging about marrying me because I was safe while waiting for Grant to succeed. The rumor mill's working overtime. Apparently, Grant and Carmen's engagement party was quite the scene. Kira crashed it, threw a drink in his face, called Carmen names, and got escorted out by security while screaming about broken promises and wasted years. But the best part? I'm thriving. That new job I mentioned, already promoted, bought a nice apartment in the upscale complex Kira wanted, joined a rock climbing gym, and met great friends who don't know my past drama. Valeria and I are taking it slow. It's nice being with someone honest who pulls her own weight, and watching Kira's face turn purple when she saw us together at the grocery store. Chef's kiss. Yesterday, Winnie warned Valeria, "I'm vengeful and unstable." Valeria just pulled up leaked screenshots of Winnie plotting to help Kira drain our accounts. "Seems like he's just good at exposing liars," she said. I haven't heard from Winnie since. So here we are, Kira's single and living with her parents. Grant's engaged to the woman he cheated on Kira with. Winnie's lost most of her friends. And me? Doing better than ever. Yes, I have security cameras now. No, I don't respond to messages. And yes, Valeria knows the whole story.